Hello and welcome to Let's Meet. I'm your host, Aaliyah English. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Let's Meet is the multimedia experience that corresponds with the Let's Meet section of the Indy Far East magazine. This gives us a chance to highlight the positive things that are happening on the Far East side of Indianapolis and get to know the people who are behind the scenes of that change. We call this a multimedia experience because you can get the information in multiple ways. You can watch on YouTube, read in the magazine or online at indyfareastmag.com, or you can listen when you're on the go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You might recognize this month's guest from the movie Mayberry Man, where he starred as Goober, the iconic character from the Andy Griffith Show. Joel Alvarado is an actor, singer, TV personality, and movie producer. But before all of that, he was just a kid at Warren Central High School. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
I am so excited to be here and meet you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I am the co-producer of the movie Mayberry Man, and I also am Goober Pile. It's something that kind of came full circle. Not to start off with something sad, but I grew up in a family that some would consider, maybe a broken home. My dad wasn't in the picture, so he always would call, and he would be a voice, right? The mysterious voice, and he would say that he would come and see me, and I've never seen him before, didn't know what he looked like. So I used to take naps and put my feet up on the screen porch, and it was like a booby trap, so that if you open the door while I was taking a nap, my feet drop, I wake up, and I didn't miss you. So why this matters is because I would fall asleep watching the Andy Griffith Show as a child here on the east side of Indianapolis. And I would fall asleep dreaming of being in the Mayberry family, dreaming of Andy he's a great father figure and maybe he'll take me in and treat me like Opie. And so it's just so unusual that one day Andy's actual daughter, Dixie Griffith, and Karen Knotts, which is Don Knotts' daughter, and the children of the original cast would say, we would like you to join us in bringing it to life. It kind of just fulfilled that little part of me that had a piece missing. And I just felt like it was kind of meant to be because of my childhood.
Yeah. So what was it like just being a part of that journey?
So when I actually got the news, I went outside and I literally raised my hands to the heavens. It was like 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. And
I love that.
My neighbors, they were like, ooh, I mean, we knew he was a little bit kooky, but zany too. And so I just had to give thanks. Not sure where everybody's at with things, but there's always a higher power that is looking out for you, no matter what your views are on that. And so I had to give my thanks back because I did it the old school way. Now I know that everybody's look supple and young.
You
youthful.
look so young.
Oh, thank
Skin's
you,
glowing.
honey. Put a backpack on me and throw me at the school.
Yes, you would fit right in.
So I am from the olden days, okay? The olden days are when you had to pound the pavement of Burbank and Hollywood and bang on the doors in order to get noticed. And so it wasn't as virtual. If you think about it, I am a graduate of 2005. And although that is definitely not that long ago,
Not at all.
Nobody think that. But technology-wise, it was. We didn't have all this Skype and Zoom. Okay, we still had AIM. AOL Instant Messenger,
Yes.
and where you got the CDs and it was free and you got to keep on putting the CD
You
in
had
the
to make the
CD-ROM.
actual mixtapes.
Okay, and change your email so you can get that little free 3 months or whatever subscription. And so I said, I need to be in the place. And so I threw everything in my car and drove to California. I had no set destination. My tires rolled over the state line, and then I started looking where I was going to be. And luckily, I got there, immediately started looking. My first roles, I never actually tried out for. I would accompany a friend, and I would be sitting in the lobby of NBC Universal, and this casting director came out while my friend was auditioning for a dating show. And I was just waiting. And so she was at the little Frappuccino bar, and she was like, "What are you here for?" And I said, "Oh, I'm waiting on a friend." She said, "I don't hear that much." Nobody comes to NBC Universal and sits in the lobby waiting on somebody else. Usually they're here, wanting their opportunity. Where can I get in? Where I fit in. And so I had to, be like, okay, well, what do you have going on? She said, well, come back to my office. She was like, you like paranormal shows? Love them. Okay, I'm spooktacular. I'll tell you anything that you want to hear. And that's what people got to know too. In life, sometimes like don't lie about things, but make things fit what they're wanting and make it fit a part of you still. So that there's like, a twisted tale there. And so I basically went back there and came out with a contract. It did do a little rift in the friendship, I will be honest. So she felt a little bit, crunchy. But so that's just how it happened. And that show is called From Beyond, and it's actually currently on Hulu for Halloween.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
So be sure to check it out on Hulu.
Yeah, From Beyond, and it's episode 4. And I also, if you want to watch the last episode of From Beyond, I do get most emotional moment of the season. So we got to take your Puffs Plus with extra aloe because you're going to have to need that.
You're going to
for
be
the
dabbing
under
a
eye.
little bit. Okay, I'll make sure I'm prepared for it. I'm going to have to check that out. I've been looking for spooky things to watch as we're getting into spooky season. And I have some more spooky season questions for you a little later. What did you enjoy most about the experience?
What I enjoyed most about Mayberry Man and, working with that cast is the wholesomeness. We are in a hurting world. I don't know if people know that, and sometimes we also take things too personal because what we don't realize is while they hurt in the world, we're putting up our defensive guard. And so then we take things personal like, oh, they were in a bad mood and what did I do? Like, I didn't do anything wrong. That's toxic. That's an illness. Don't fall for that because you are just you. You are doing fine, just as you were when you started your day. And so don't let other people's problems like leak through into what you have going on. But I enjoyed being a part of this process because classic television is feel good. It is something that is comforting. A lot of people take naps to it. And it may sound funny, like I'm falling asleep to it, but you fall asleep in comfort. It's because you are totally at home. You feel safe and so relaxed, and you fall asleep. It's not because the stuff is boring, okay?
That's true. So tell us a little bit about your experience as the co-producer. Was it different co-producing and acting?
Yes. So sometimes there would be days where I wasn't required to be on set as Goober, and that was more convenient for me because then I got to make sure that everybody else was following what they're supposed to do, make sure that I'm on top of things. And it was actually funny sometimes because I'd be so serious because time is money and time is value, and so we have to get this going. And I would have to be in the Goober costume. So you have your pants that are, I'm a size 32 on a good day, but so the size pants were like a 58.
Oh, so swallowing you.
A little bit swallowing me. And I could belt them up all the way up to here, tuck that shirt in. I think I outdid Steve Urkel by 5 inches. And so I'd be telling them, this, that with my little hat and shaking my hand around. It was tough because, a lot of the word goober is like clumsy, awkward, offbeat, which I'm all those things. I'm forgetful. But so it's tough to not be seen as that. And so I'm trying to now, still pay homage to the character, but also show me, the Joel, however you want to say it, behind the costume.
Tell us a little bit about your journey, 2005 grad. So how did you go from Warren Central Performing Arts kid to the star that you are today?
Being in Connection Show Choir was my favorite time in life. I enjoyed prepping and getting ready and sneaking to see what the people at the competitions were going to do so that we can try to hurry up and, without changing things, come up with something a little bit smoother. I also did drama club, and I enjoyed that. And I just always knew that I had some creativity, and I wanted to step off of A² + B² = C² and kind of venture into like some other parts of me.
Up until this point, we've kind of talked about you at Goober and your job and your career. Now I want to get to know you a little bit more. So I have a couple of like rapid fire questions.
Ooh.
I mean, it's not rapid fire. You can take your time. But these are all just kind of questions about you. No wrong answers. Okay? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. First things first. What song right now is giving you life?
So I think that the heart yearns for love. I'm single, yes. But so when I Look at You by Miley Cyrus, it plays nonstop while I take a shower, and I know that everyone hears me.
It's a good song. And he's single. So
Yeah.
shoot your shot.
I mean,
No.
goes
I mean,
down in the DMs in the
okay.
most positive way.
In the most positive.
In the
So
most positive
positive
way.
DMs
Positive DMs, please.
only. Feel good food.
Ooh, lasagna.
Do you like just regular? Do you do anything special to it?
I want extra meat,
Extra meat,
cheese,
extra cheese.
extra sauce. When you stab the fork in, I want it to just go all the way up. Just the fork just gets swallowed in the lasagna, and then you just got to still use your fingers.
Lasagna, I love that. What are you watching these days when you're not watching Mayberry Man?
Oh, yes, of course, because I watch Mayberry Man all day, just like everybody else should. Y'all should watch it
Yes.
24/7.
Yes.
But what I watch is still classic television, Gilligan's Island, I Love Lucy, The Golden Girls. And I also got into Wolfpack because I was a fan of Buffy. So Sarah Michelle Gellar, she is back, and she is doing her thing.
Okay.
She's slaying, well, she's half wolf in this.
What are you reading, or the last thing you read?
The last thing I read was a story from Janice Thornton. She's a author that I had the pleasure of meeting, and it's a crime story about a girl from Indiana who, in the 1960s, you know, we got to stay classic with it, unfortunately met her demise, and the town never knew what happened to her. But it's very interesting, the thoughts that they have. It just is very sad that we didn't have our technology that we have today.
So it's based on a true story.
Yes, it's a true
Oh,
story. It's a cold
wow.
case.
Oh, wow.
And her name is Oline Emerton, the girl who was found. And she was just a high school student. So I really just feel so sad for her and her family, because sometimes people say that, okay, but that was the 1960s and time has gone on. No. That was someone's existence. So we still will feel for that.
What was your dream role or dream job?
So my dream job was actually to teach Connection show choir and highlights. Really? Yes, when I was in Connection, I got the pleasure of actually instructing the highlights and the Golden Singers. I'm not sure if you still have the Golden Singer. And so I got to teach them like dance moves and stuff. And so that was cool because my moves look good on them. I don't know if what they were seeing looked good, but they were pulling it off, whatever I was trying to get to.
So if there's ever an opening, should we hit you up? Should we have
Yes.
Warren hit
Or
you
just
up?
have like a honorarium day
Okay.
where I can like walk in and be like, hello, I'm going to be teaching you some get it moved.
Okay,
Oh, was that
I
my
like
bones
that.
cracking? Something was cracking. It was a seat.
Favorite Halloween memory or Dia de los Muertos? What are your favorite things about spooky season?
Yes, so my favorite thing about Halloween is just seeing the children dressing up. I don't want to sound like one of those old people who be sitting on their rockers rocking back and forth, but you know, it gives them a time to tap into their creativity. And they don't realize it, but that's kind of like your first acting roles, because you have this character and you want to totally embody that character. So you do the, I don't know, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers
Yes,
probably isn't the
yes.
thing, but you do it's morphin time,
Yes.
and you really take on everything about that. So I'm all about that other side. I think it's the left side of your brain is the
The
creative.
creative
Yes.
side. If you were to go trick or treating today, what candy would you want to see in your basket?
Reese's peanut butter cups. Yes, that peanut butter does something to me.
It's got a hold on you. It's good. Who inspires you?
My mother inspires me. I think that it's funny to say that because, you know, sometimes everybody just goes to my mom, my dad. But let me tell you, my mom, she works for Warren Township to this day. She retired as a teacher, but then she cared for her students so much that she entered back into education. And she's currently at Raymond Park as English as a second language teacher. And but she was the Spanish teacher at Creston Middle School forever, so people will know her as Miss Alvarado or Miss Oliva because she got married. And it's just inspiring to see how dedicated she is to something and how much work she puts into that. So
This is the final of the rapid fire questions. If you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
it would be my grandmother because this is an emotional story. But something when she was knowing that she was going to pass away, she wanted me to sing You Raise Me Up by Josh Groban to her. And I couldn't find it in me to sing it only because I felt like that would be our goodbye and that it would be real. And so I, to this day, have that regret of not singing that for her because she really, really wanted me to do that. And unfortunately, I didn't. So I would have dinner with her at an Italian restaurant with a 16-layer lasagna, extra meat, extra cheese, extra sauce, lose the fork. And I would sing to her as we dined.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, thank you so much for sharing. That's the end of the little rapid fire section. It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't. I think my hair fell a few inches, but
I think you did great. We'll go ahead and switch back into more of the business side. What advice would you give someone who wants to work in the film industry?
to never stop and always push, because some people's problems are that they find someone who has an opportunity for them and the answer may be no to them. And so they go home, they feel defeated, and they simply decide to, like, duck their tail and give up. But what you have to ask yourself is, how much did you really get to show that person of your craft, of your ability? They only saw 5 or 10%, and you got to know. If they had the opportunity to see the 90% that they didn't see, I'm sure that their answer would be different. What I will say is that for every 80 times that you throw yourself before someone, you will find a yes. It may sound like a lot, but there are 365 days in a year. And, the 80 times doesn't have to happen once a day. So I suggest that you look for casting opportunities online if that's the avenue that you want to go. Throw out 10 before you lay your head on your pillow and go to sleep. It gives you that hope to wake up to, and you're eager to look. Did anyone get back? Did anyone? And that's okay if they didn't the next day. Because tonight, for day 2, you're going to put 10 more. That's 20 already.
It is.
That have your information, you saying, I know how to do this. And you have to treat it just like a job interview. People have their, jobs that they do to make their lifestyle and their income. Treat your dreams like your job, if not better. It's a very tough industry because you got to be tough on you. It's not even about what other people are going to do. It's how strict you have to be on yourself. And a lot of people, need to work on that type of strictness. Once you land a role or an opportunity, you suddenly have that resume that you never thought that you would have. And with that foundation, continue to do that. I tell people all the time, if I have to throw out that I'm Goober for the next 128 years, in order for someone to look over here, then I am Goober, because that is fine with me. I don't, and so for every opportunity, which we'll get into more of that, but it comes up, so.
Yeah, let's get into that. So
Yes.
what opportunities are on the horizon for you? What's coming up?
Oh, so I haven't revealed this.
Ooh,
So this is an exclusive for
Thank
real.
you. I appreciate
Yes.
it.
So, producers of Food Network, Discovery Plus, and HBO Max reached out, and they have a show that will be on all platforms. And what I will reveal is that they chose 16 of America's most rotten, spoiled, and entitled, which I am the most genuine wholesome of that category.
You're such a pleasure. None of those words describe you.
To attend a boot camp and see if they can learn how to trade in that silver spoon for a spatula and if they can fend for themselves.
Oh.
So, the mystery, the mystery. And that actually will premiere in January, so we're getting excited for that. I also have the Christmas Gift and Hobby Show. It's a 5-day meet and greet, booth 169, where I will have autographed pictures. I will have Christmas gifts. I do have a candle collection.
Yes.
I make these. This is yours. This is Aunt B's apple pie.
Oh.
Yes, it was canned in
you.
Mayberry.
Okay.
We do all our canning. And so, yes, I want you to just tell it.
Oh, that
It's
smells.
a cinnamon apple
That
crisp.
smells really good. It smells like fall. It is a 3-wick.
It is a 3-wick.
candle.
You saw 3 in there.
Are you a housewife fan?
Okay, yes.
Karen Huger.
Karen
It's a
Huger.
3-wick.
It is a 3-wick.
It's a 3-wick candle.
I had to make sure, because of the Grand Dame, I had to make sure that my candles are 3-wick because it gets real shady if you have a single wick.
Yes, it smells fantastic. Where can people go to buy and support?
Yes, so the Christmas Gift and Hobby Show is November 8th through the 12th, and I will be at booth 169. Feel free to meet and greet. We can talk more about the show on the horizon with Food Network because that will drop on the media by then, so that'll be good. And also, we can talk anything Mayberry, and we can also just chit and chat, enjoy our time.
So make sure you guys stop by. What are some other ways that the community can support you, or if someone who is reading or watching this wants to connect with you, what are some ways they can get in contact?
So a way that the community can get in contact with me is on all formats, darling, the official Goober. So if you want to go on Instagram, it's the official Goober. I am also on Cameo.
Okay.
I am on Cameo. Yes, get your shout out from me.
Yes.
For birthdays, for divorce parties, for any type of celebration, special to you or to someone, I will do those video shout outs. We can do it as Goober, or I can just get extra glam, extra fab, and we can do it that way too. But I want to actually offer some help to the community. So if anybody does have questions or wants maybe some pep talk or like a direction that they should go with their personal careers, it doesn't even have to stick to like entertainment. It can just be life advice. They are able to just message, and I will get back to them as soon as I'm able to and answer those, and not even with just 2 sentences. I mean, I'm going to take my time with this. And I just want to uplift. And I want to offer a challenge for those who want to, volunteer as tribute for that. And if they want to tell me what Mayberry means to me, they can share emotional, sentimental stories that they feel comfortable with, things that they've overcome, and just maybe if they've seen the movie Mayberry Man. If you haven't, I would watch it before you submit, what you, would like to submit. But maybe just say how that has helped them. If it has at all, don't tell me fibs.
Yes.
But just try to make it real for
Yes.
me. And then I would also, in return, select some, and we can go have dinner at the Mayberry Cafe. We can come up with different type of ways to come together. And so I'd like to spend time with those who would like to spend time.
I love that. So make sure you guys reach out, connect. Remember, the DMs are open for positive DMs only, but also to share as well. I love that you're connecting with the community. What would you say to like a young Joel or a young kid on the Far East Side at Warren Central who's in connection, thinking about that competition season that's coming up? What advice would you give to them as they're starting out their career?
So the advice that I would give to anyone who is starting out is to love yourself first. Before you seek from others, you need to be complete within yourself. And that's something we can work on with just us, one-on-one. We don't need anyone to build us up. We don't need anyone to be our crutch. Like, just truly, love and believe in yourself, because if you don't, you can't go out in this world and expect others to. And that's something that people kind of drop the ball too, is that they don't feel that inside. And so they scrounge around and look for, where can I get it? And they find like the most awful places to get it. And so you fall into a trap and you can't get out of that. And so if you truly know yourself and love you, then this world really can't break you. And so that's where I would start. And also, like I said, give equal time to your dream as you do for your livelihood. So if you're spending 40 hours a week at work, spend 40 hours a week towards your dreams.
That's right.
And it sounds like a lot because we're like, how do we have 80 hours? Let's do that math, 24 hours in a day. You might lose some sleep, but is it worth it? I mean, you can lose some sleep for other reasons if you don't feel like you're reaching your full potential. So let's lose some sleep for some positive reasons here, and not because we're stressed out because nobody noticed me or this and that. And it's like, okay, so what have you done to be showcased? Oh, I kind of really haven't. Oh, okay. So let's start there.
At the end of the day, how do you feel about the work that you're doing?
I feel like I am doing the work that I want to do. And that's like what's just truly amazing is it used to be, I always say it used to be back in the day. I was banging on those doors. I was calling on the phone. I was probably the most annoying person, like, notice me, please. And ironically, if you just kind of relax a little bit, it'll somehow come to you with that effort. So maybe just leave out the annoying tendency that I have, because I do have a very big tendency on that. And so if I can just stop being a bugaboo. And so it's just amazing, though, that now, like, for example, what's coming up in January, they were like, we need a goober in the kitchen. It's you. And I was like, oh my. I mean, like, I didn't realize exactly the impact or what I was doing here. I knew I was having a whole lot of fun, and I knew that it's exactly what I want to do. But I just was like, like, you guys actually thought about me for this production. And so that just made me realize that, like, I'm exactly on the path that I need to be, and I'm perfectly satisfied right now with everything. So that's unheard of.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
Well, and so with my father and his absence, which maybe some people on our side of the community maybe deal with that themselves, a lot of the questions that I had or the, things that were plaguing my mind growing up were, so I'm supposed to convince them that I'm good enough, but I wasn't good enough for my biological father. How are people supposed to want to be around me when he chose to run for the hills? And so what I'll say to that is that it goes into that, self-love thing. And no matter who it is or what title they hold, they don't have the power over you that you're letting them have. And they brought you here, but you will carry yourself through. And that is how the world works. Our mommies and daddies don't hold our hands until we're 72. They just don't. And so get out of that mindset. It sounds like a trap, once again, where we just get clouded. And, you just got to tell that voice in your head, listen, I am not diagnosed. Shh. So you ain't going to start today.
Do you remember when you had that, like, aha moment that, like, screw this, I'm going to do this moment, or that I'm good enough moment? Do you remember when it exactly clicked for you?
So I will share with you a secret. When I attended Warren Central High School, and when I was in Connection Show Choir, I actually was on a televised opera for PBS. And from there, went on to tour with Dennis DeYoung of the rock band Styx. So I hadn't really shared that because it was so different. But when Dennis DeYoung would sit with me at the dinners, he would be a father figure.
That's awesome.
And he told me, because every time that I went on stage, I went back by the drummer to sing. And he was all the way at the front. He literally came, snatched me up, kind of like when you scruff a cat. And I was just like, and brought me to the front of the stage. And he goes, "You're here because I want you here." And he let me know that don't ever think in your life that, maybe I'm just not quite good enough, or maybe someone else is better, because he said, "I liked what I saw, and here we are." So that moment was really what got me going to head to California to pursue things. And out there, I did stumble upon helping. At that time, it was the Flavor of Love, Rock of Love,
Okay.
Bad
Yes,
Girls
yes,
Club.
yes. That whole era.
Yes. So I became like their talent coordinating manager and helping them along their way to find new opportunities. And so that was where they said, "You are a character yourself. So, you need to step up into the light and stop always trying to help me with things." They were appreciative, but so that was another like moment where it was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm still me, but I want to evolve to another level,
And we're human. We still have those moments. What do you do now to push through?
Well, I like my Mayberry Memories candle collection.
Yes.
Yes. I get the aroma going in the room. No, but I, take a lot of relaxing showers.
I love
Some
a good
smelling
shower.
salt.
Oh, I love
Yes.
a good shower.
Yes. And like, if you use 5 bottles of soap and like empty them out at the bottom, that's okay. I mean, I just, like, I'm sitting here, smells do something for me. And so, yeah, no, I just relax and come back. Something I've noticed too is people are out here getting overstimulated. And then you get anxious and you get tense. And it's like sometimes we have too much people time. And I notice, again, people go, "So-and-so's not talking to me. What did I do wrong?" No. It's for them. It's not about you. It's for them. They're just better preparing to be around you next time.
All right, last question, and we kind of touched on this a little bit, but what's next?
So what is next? Well, another thing that I'm working on is since I'm in the classic TV realm, I don't know if you know the Munsters.
Oh, I love the Munsters.
So Eddie Munster, Butch Patrick, he was like, "Could you ever be like a Scream King?" And I was like, "A Scream King?" Like, I'm just like comedic or chill. Like, I don't know. And so I went to the Ozarks and I filmed with him. It's a horror film that he has coming out. And it's about basically the creature from the lagoon's like wife type story. And so it kind of has that cheesiness from the classic horrors, but done in present time. But he was funny because he said, "Actually, you can come on as yourself." So my character's name is actually Joel or Joel, whichever you want to pronounce it. And I'm actually dressed as the bumpkin in the Goober outfit because he wanted me, I can't escape that. And so he wanted me to be killed off in there. And it was so, I wish I could tell you more, but let's just say a creepy hand comes and then you see me wiggling around getting eaten. And he says it's the funniest thing that he's ever seen. So I don't die well, but.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add before we go?
I do want to encourage everyone to absolutely start tonight with my plan. Whether it's for maybe you're going through like unemployment, or maybe you have a job, but you're not quite getting the hours and you want to find another, let's do something where we challenge ourselves to no excuses. Ooh, did you feel my skin crawled when I said no excuses? Because I'm full of excuses over here. No excuses. And that's okay. And so let's, pick up that seasonal position. Try it out. It's until January, and then it'll phase out. And then you tested yourself to see, can I truly add something else to my plate? It has an end date.
It does.
I hear too many people talking about finance. I'm like, it is seasonal time. Go get your seasonal. And on top of that, maybe it's the dream realm, and that's what you want to start. Well, what better time than now? People want to say, okay, it's almost January 2024. I'll have that be my New Year's resolution. This is your year. This is your life. These are your moments. Start now. That's the problem. We're going to prolong it to January. Then something's going to happen in January, and then we're going to prolong it some more. And then next thing you know is 2028. And we're still wondering why we haven't started. So let's just start it now. Reach out to 10 opportunities. It'll take time to scour and find those, but once you find your routine, you'll know where to look. You'll find those. You'll throw your name out. And if you need any assistance, you can reach out to the official Goober on Instagram and send me a DM, positive, and I will respond with maybe some secret places to look that you might find some opportunities and get going.
Oh, so take them up on the opportunity. Positive DMs only, and get started today. Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining us today. I had so much fun. Thank you for the picture and the candle. Make sure you guys check out the candle. They smell amazing.
I hope they do. Are you just saying
that?
No,
I'm for real. It smells
yes, I hope so. I still smell it.
That does it for this episode of Let's Meet. Thank you so much for stopping by. You can read all about this month's guest in the Indie Far East magazine by heading over to indiefareastmag.com and reading the digital copy, or stopping by one of our many drop locations and pick up a physical copy. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.